Podcast Network Asia.
Hi, this is Alec Cuenca, and you're listening to Small Talk. Hey guys, welcome back to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. My name is Alec Cuenca, and I'm your host. And before anything else, I would like to greet each and every one of you. Welcome back to the show. If this is your first time, then welcome. I hope you learned something from this episode. If you enjoy this, go ahead and check out the other amazing episodes because they have a lot of amazing insights that you can learn from. And if this is your end time listening to the podcast, if you're an avid listener of the podcast, then welcome back. I am so happy to see you here. It's just amazing to see that you are invested in self-improvement. So for this episode, we are going to talk about self-love. Now, I said that in this month, we are going to talk all about self-care, self-love. Last week, we talked about rest. We will be talking about them more next week. But I really want to focus on self-love because as we've seen, there's an increase of number of people hyping and pushing people to love themselves, right? And there's a certain need for us to be self-fulfilled, right? There's an increase in importance of self-esteem of people. We've gone past the safety, the security that we needed in the when we were just starting out in this life. Now there's a huge increase in people looking for self-love. But one thing that I've seen from people who are working on self-love is that they think that being or loving yourself is actually a bit selfish. And I totally understand that. Here in the Philippines, we know that we were trained to think that whatever we are doing, we basically need to return it back or at least pay it back to whoever paid our college or school, whoever feeded us, right? And so it's kind of hard for most Filipinos to build a future for themselves because most of them are retirement plans of their parents, right? Their parents, especially if you're living like from the middle to bottom class of the middle class, your parents basically went into debt just to get you through college, right? So we got this mentality of we need to put our parents or giving back or loving other people as a top priority. Now, I thought that was a good formula. Well, you're helping people, you're giving value to people, you're helping your parents for Christ's sake. I mean, that's a good thing, right? That's a nice thing to do. But here's the thing. Once you understand that you can never pour from an empty cup, you'll realize that in order for you to truly be selfless, then you need to be selfish from time to time. There's this one person who asked me, I'm sure you're getting a lot of questions on how to take care of yourself. I'm sure you're getting a lot of questions of people unloading their baggages, their problems to you. How do you keep this energy or this patience that you have? Someone asked me that, and I thought for myself, oh, I know how did I do that? How was I able to sustain myself in helping many people as much as I can, in this space, in social media and the coaching business? I realized because, and I haven't done this like on a consistent basis. Actually, I've just practiced this recently because there was this one moment when I thought that, that's my purpose. Helping other people is my purpose. So I helped and helped and helped and helped. And it came to the point that I did not take care of myself. I did not prioritize self love. I did not prioritize self care. And it came to a point that I was so exhausted. It came to a point where I felt so burnt out that I didn't want to push forward and I didn't want to go on. I didn't want to show up because I just want to rest physically, emotionally, and mentally tired. That's what I am, right? So at that point, I said to myself, never will I not prioritize myself again. So I instilled in my routine one of the famous or best habits available. It's the 20-20-20 rule in the morning. And the 20-20 rule in the morning, it basically says you need to allot 20 minutes of exercise. That's the first thing that you're going to do. 20 minutes of journaling. You and I love that, you know. And lastly, you do 20 minutes of reading. Now, let's try to dive deeper a little bit on those types of self-care. Because with the internet, online, there's a lot of ways that you could love yourself. But these are the major things that you need to do for you to actually build that self-esteem, that confidence, and build that momentum into taking care of yourself. This is not some hocus. A lot of people think that self-care, self-love, it's buying cute candles, posting out, drinking coffee all by yourself. Those are parts of it. Those are great examples. But the three pillars that can actually make you have a sustainable growth, okay, that is not related to any external things. It's more of internal. Okay, the first part of self-love is self. It's not really love that you get from other things, material things, or the people around you. It's self-love. So how can you love yourself more? And it's not by spoiling yourself with these things. It's actually by working on yourself. If you truly want to have a transformation, then you need to atone for the past mistakes that you did. And how do you atone yourself? It's you work on yourself. Your physical, your mental, your emotional, and your spiritual. Now, I'm not saying that you can't, candles and all those cute stuff doesn't help you. It can work. It can help you out. But I'm giving you these three things as your pillar so that you can build a sustainable path towards self-care. So the first one of the 20-20 rule is exercise. Guys, you need to exercise. There's a certain hormone that allows us to repairs the neurons inside our minds, the muscles that we have in our body, and the organs that we have through exercise. And also, it releases a lot of dopamine, so it really makes you feel good. So exercise, the first thing that you do. The second is journaling. A lot of people, they don't know how to start with loving themselves, with personal development, with growth. My first advice is to study. And not just study, whatever you're studying in college or in work. Study yourself. Have that time of reflection. The journaling part is it's the most peaceful time that you can give to yourself. And so take this moment before the chaos starts, before the panic happens. You work on yourself and you give yourself that time to just be at peace. Just be with yourself. Okay? And this is very important because a lot of people, they say, I don't have me time. Then this should be your me time. Me time does not come in a surprisingly unexpected way. It can only come if you intend it to come. Self-care is intentional. You need to be intentional in taking care of yourself and loving yourself a little bit more. So you journal, right? You journal, you take the time to give yourself some me time, some alone time to just be with your thoughts and sit down and let your body follow or catch up with your thoughts. The third one is the reading part or the learning part. So whatever, if you're not a reader, go listen to podcasts, go, I don't know, watch motivational and inspirational videos on YouTube or educational videos on YouTube. Just make sure that you are learning. Because if you're not learning, then you're not growing. And if you're not growing, then you're dying. So make sure that you take the time to study. The best people that are achieving abundance in their in this life, it's those people who are not willing to settle for anything that they already know. They want to learn more. They're obsessed with learning more and more and more and more. And is it that the most fulfilling thing ever? To see that we're growing, to see that we're learning? Even though we're done with our modules, with our courses, with our programs, we're still learning. Learning a new skill, learning a new thought, learning a new language, can be anything as long as you are learning. So do those 20-20-20 rule to take care of yourself, to love yourself. Now, why did I share this? It's because a lot of people think that self-love is something to be, that is really hard to do. But it only takes 1 hour of your day to actually love yourself. And this is necessary, because if you don't do this, there will come a point that, because the world will demand you, right? The world will demand of you your talent, your expertise, your knowledge. And so if you don't do this right now, then there will come a point that you will block out anything or anyone that is trying to contact you or get access to you. And you just be like, you know what? F all of this, and I'll take a break, and I won't answer. And that's going to be much more chaotic. So before it comes to a point where everybody would hate you and your finances would suffer and your career or your future would suffer because you just want to take care of yourself, you take care of yourself now. Okay? Self-love is not selfish. Being selfish is one way to be selfless. Okay? It's not a bad thing to take care of yourself, to put yourself as a priority, because I learned that in doing that, you might lose the short term, but you will win in the long term. So adjust. Make sure that we're in the end game right now. And if we're focused on building a sustainable and an abundant future, then we need to understand that we need to trade in some things and prioritize self-care and self-love. So that's it for this episode. I hope that you learned something. If you like this episode, go ahead and share it on Instagram. Do not forget to tag me at Small Talk Podcast. If you want to join my weekly group sessions, the second phase of the Better Me project will start on October to December. So if you want to join the 3 months coaching session that I do, send me a message send me a message on Instagram at Alec Cuenca, and I will send you the details. I also do one-on-one coaching if you guys are interested in that. And also, I am building a program for coaches. So make sure that if you're a coach, whether you're a financial coach or a physical fitness coach, or a mindset coach, or a manifestation or a meditation coach, whatever coach you are, I am building a program to help you out maximize your coaching potential. So if you're interested in that, send me a message and I'll add you to the waitlist. Now, thank you guys for listening. My name is Alec Cuenca. This is Small Talk, Small Conversations with Huge Impact. And I will talk to you guys next episode. Bye-bye.
The views and opinions expressed by the podcast creators, hosts, and guests do not necessarily reflect the official policy and position of Podcast Network Asia. Any content provided by the people on the podcast are of their own opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything.